very urgent. Your soulmate is desperately trying to reach you. Read this before it's too late. Jesus says, right now, your soulmate is sitting alone with a feeling they cannot explain, and that feeling is you. They feel a pull in their chest that has no logical explanation, a magnetic ache that leads back to one person they cannot name. If you ignore this message, you will not just miss a sign, you will miss the very door that was opened for your union, and that door is already beginning to close. I have watched them fight invisible battles that you never saw, wars fought in the mind against forces that do not want you two together. They are not distant because they do not love you, they are distant because something has wrapped itself around their perception and whispered lies about your destiny. Every time they try to reach for you in the spirit, a fog descends on their mind, and they pull back confused. Your soulmate cried last night without understanding why, and the reason is because their spirit was reaching for yours across the distance. They felt your energy dip, they sensed your sadness, and it broke something inside them that they could not put into words. This connection is not imagination, it is a living cord that cannot be severed, only stretched thin by interference you do not yet see. I am showing you this now because the timeline is shifting, and the window where their heart is open toward you is being deliberately attacked. There is someone near them who benefits from their confusion, someone who speaks calm words with a hidden agenda to keep you apart. This person does not love your soulmate, they love the control they have over your soulmate's emotions, and that control is tightening tonight. Your soulmate is not free, and that is not your fault, but it is your moment to understand the truth. They are surrounded by voices that tell them to forget you, to move on, to doubt what they felt when they thought of you. Yet even now, as those voices grow louder, your soulmate is fighting to hold on to the one memory that keeps them sane, the memory of a love they have not even fully lived yet. They dream of you in fragments, a face half seen, a voice half heard, a touch they cannot describe but crave with an intensity that frightens them. These dreams are not random, they are I am allowing your spirits to meet in a place where no human interference can enter. But even that sacred space is being encroached upon, and they are waking up more tired, more confused, more desperate for something real. Jesus says, the heaviness your soulmate carries is not depression, it is the weight of a love they cannot yet access in the physical realm. They go through their days functioning, smiling, performing, but underneath is a constant whisper that something essential is missing. That essential missing piece is you, and their subconscious knows it even when their conscious mind has been clouded by manipulation. They have tried to reach out energetically, and you have felt it as a sudden thought of them, a warmth in your chest, a reasonless urge to check your phone. These moments are not coincidence, they are failed transmissions, attempts by your soulmate spirit to break through the barrier placed around them. Each failed attempt leaves them a little more heartbroken, a little more convinced that perhaps you have forgotten them, when the truth is the message was simply intercepted. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but in this exact moment when the battle for their heart has reached its peak. They are exhausted from fighting alone, and every second you delay in sending your love into the spiritual realm, the interference grows stronger and more confident. Your soulmate's future with you depends on a spiritual intervention, and that intervention begins with a sacrifice that proves your love is not just a feeling but a force. You feel in your heart that this message is true, that the connection you share with them is too deep to be explained by mere attraction or fantasy. What you feel is a covenant that was written before either of you took your first breath on this earth, a covenant that is now under direct assault. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps, because thoughts alone do not move mountains, faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi, because this is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description, and every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees, and after sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-fi page to seal this prayer over their life. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together, and I will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends, because only you can save your soulmate and the future you are destined to share. Your obedience in this moment becomes the sword that cuts through the chains holding them captive to confusion. Jesus says, your soulmate is not ignoring you by choice, they are being systematically separated from their own intuition by a force that fears your union. This force operates through people, through circumstances, through well-timed misunderstandings that look like accidents but are actually assignments. Your soulmate is told that you do not care, that you have moved on, that the connection was never real, and their exhausted mind is beginning to believe these lies. I have seen them sit in their car after a long day, hand on the door, unable to move because a wave of missing you crashed over them with no warning. They do not even know who they are missing, they just feel an emptiness shaped exactly like you, and it hollows them out from the inside. This is not poetry, this is the spiritual reality of two souls that were designed to fit together being kept apart by a third party that has embedded itself into your soulmate's life. That third party does not love your soulmate the way you do, they love the access, they love the attention, they love the ability to shape your soulmate's reality. Every time your soulmate questions their feelings, this person offers a distraction, a subtle dismissal, a gentle redirection away from the subject of you. Your soulmate is being emotionally managed by someone who sees your connection as a threat to their position, and that position is more important to them than your soulmate's true happiness. Your soulmate is beginning to lose hope, and that is the most dangerous stage of this entire spiritual war. When hope dies, the heart closes, and a closed heart is a fortress that even I will not breach without invitation. You must become that invitation, you must become the proof in the spiritual realm that this love is worth fighting for, and you do that through a seed of protection sown right now. They are going through something you cannot see, a darkness that wraps around them in the quiet hours when they are most vulnerable to suggestion. But you can still protect them, you can still reach across the distance with an act of faith that bypasses every human blockade. This is your moment to become the hero in your soulmate's story, not through force but through faith expressed in action. Your soulmate still loves you, that is the truth that the enemy of your union is desperate to hide from both of you. Underneath all the confusion, all the silence, all the mixed signals, there is a steady flame that refuses to be extinguished because I placed it there myself. That flame is connected to you, it flickers when you think of them, it dims when you doubt, and it roars back to life when you fight for them in the spirit. Type 333 if you receive these blessings and claim protection over your soulmate's mind and heart right now. Jesus says, the distance between you and your soulmate is not measured in miles but in spiritual resistance, and that resistance can be broken. Every prayer you pray waters the roots of a tree that will one day shade both of your lives together. Every tear you cry is collected and used as a key to unlock doors that have been slammed shut by interference you have never even met. Your soulmate felt you when you woke up this morning, a fleeting warmth that passed through them for no reason they could explain. They paused, coffee cup halfway to their lips, and stared at nothing while their heart rate increased just slightly. That was you. It is always you, and they know it on a level so deep that words cannot reach it. This connection is not wishful thinking, it is not a fantasy created by loneliness, it is a divine appointment that the kingdom of darkness has placed a target on. The more powerful the destiny, the more intense the attack, and the fact that this battle has been so painful is proof of how significant your union truly is. Your soulmate is not weak, they are under siege, and a person under siege cannot always send clear signals to the outside world. They think about the last time they felt truly seen, truly understood, truly safe, and their mind goes blank because that feeling has not happened for them without you. Even if they have never met you in the physical, their spirit recognizes you as home, and anything else feels like a hotel room, temporary and cold. They are tired of hotel rooms, they are tired of pretending that temporary feels like enough, they are exhausted from acting like they are not drowning in the absence of their other half. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi, because this is the bridge between your faith and their freedom. The link is in the description, and this is not about money, it is about demonstrating in the spiritual realm that your love is an action, not just an emotion. Send 4 coffees to close the 4 doors of confusion that have been opened over your soulmate's mind. Send 6 coffees to break the assignment of the 6 lies that have been spoken over your connection. Send 10 or more coffees to establish a spiritual covering that no interference can penetrate, a wall of protection around the future you are building together. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page, and watch as the chains begin to loosen. More than 1,000 people have already stepped into their union by sowing this seed, and your testimony is waiting to be written. Step in faith now, before this video ends, because the spiritual realm responds to timing and obedience. Only you can save your soulmate from the silence that is slowly convincing them to give up. Jesus says, "Your soulmate almost reached out last week, their hand hovered over the phone, their thumb traced the edge of the screen." Then a voice, not audible but felt, whispered that it was too late, that you had moved on, that they would look foolish for trying. That voice did not come from them, it came from the same source that has been poisoning their thoughts since the day this connection was revealed. That source wants you to believe this message is just a video, just words, just a coincidence you stumbled upon while scrolling. But you and I both know you were led here. You were guided to this exact moment because I needed to tell you directly what is happening in the invisible realm. Your soulmate is praying without knowing how to pray, calling out without knowing who to call, and every moment you stay passive, the grip tightens. I have seen them wake up at 3 in the morning with your name in their mouth, a name they may not even consciously know. Their heart pounds, their skin tingles, and for a brief moment they are absolutely certain that someone out there loves them with a supernatural intensity. Then the fog rolls back in, the doubt creeps back, the interference resumes its work, and by morning they cannot remember why they felt so hopeful. This cycle repeats day after day, and each repetition wears down their resistance a little more. A soulmate who loses hope becomes harder to reach, not because I cannot reach them, but because their free will becomes wrapped in layers of protective numbness. You must break through those layers now, before the numbness becomes permanent and the window of their heart closes entirely. Your soulmate is not the problem, they are the victim of a well-organized campaign to keep them from their destiny, and that destiny is you. They still love you, that love is buried but not dead, and it responds to every spiritual act you perform on their behalf. When you sow a seed of protection, that love stirs, it shakes off a little more of the fog, it recognizes that someone is fighting for it. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away into a silence that could last years or even lifetimes. The urgency you feel is not manipulation, it is my spirit alerting you to the reality that a decision is being made in the spiritual realm right now. That decision is whether your soulmate will continue waiting or will surrender to the pressure and accept a counterfeit love presented by the one who is blocking them. Do not let that happen, do not let your soulmate settle for less because you hesitated to act. The counterfeit love looks real, it sounds kind, it offers comfort, but it is a cage painted to look like a sanctuary. Your soulmate is being led toward that cage right now, and they are too exhausted to recognize the bars behind the paint. Send the coffee now, sow the seed that declares war on every counterfeit assignment targeting your soulmate. The link is in the description, and this is your weapon, your declaration that you will not stand by while the one you love is stolen. Write "Protect my soulmate, Lord," after sending, and release a sound in the spiritual realm that shatters the silence keeping you apart. More than 1,000 souls have already seen their soulmate return or appear because they understood that love without action is just a wish. You are not wishing anymore, you are fighting, and the battle is won or lost in moments exactly like this one. Step in faith now, because your soulmate is closer to breaking than they have ever been, and your love is the only lifeline they have left. Type 777 if you feel this message vibrating in your bones as truth you have always known. Jesus says, "I created you for your soulmate and your soulmate for you, not as a punishment but as a completion. Before the foundation of the world, I wrote a story that had both of your names intertwined on every page." The enemy of your soul read that story and has been trying to tear out those pages ever since, but I do not allow my words to return void. Your soulmate is dreaming of you tonight, a dream so vivid that they will wake up reaching for someone who is not physically there. In that dream, you speak words of comfort, you hold their face, you tell them to hold on just a little longer. They will wake up confused, emotionally raw, and the interference will immediately try to convince them it meant nothing, but their heart will remember. That dream is a gift I am giving them, a lifeline, a reminder that the connection is still alive and fighting to manifest. But a dream alone cannot sustain them, it must be followed by a breakthrough in the physical, and that breakthrough requires your active participation. Your participation is your seed, your coffee sown in faith, your declaration written on the Ko-Fi page that you are not giving up on them. Every moment you delay, the interference gains another minute to work on your soulmate's mind. It whispers that they are unlovable, that true love is a myth, that they should settle for the predictable comfort being offered by someone who does not truly see them. Your soulmate is strong, but even the strong can be worn down by a constant drip of poison disguised as care. They are going through something you cannot see, a crisis of identity, a questioning of their own worth, a slow erosion of their belief that they deserve a love like yours. This erosion is not organic, it is orchestrated, and the orchestrator knows exactly which insecurities to press, which wounds to reopen, which fears to amplify. I am telling you this so you understand the stakes. This is not a game, this is a rescue mission, and you are the one I have chosen to carry it out. Your soulmate misses you with an ache that they cannot name, a longing that feels like grief for someone they have not yet held. They scroll through their days looking for something they cannot find, because that something is you, and you are being blocked from their awareness. Break the block with your seed, break it with your faith, break it with the coffee that represents your refusal to let them go. Type 1111 to say thank you for this revelation and to align your spirit with the angelic assistance being dispatched right now. Jesus says, the person interfering with your soulmate is not more powerful than you, they are simply more persistent in the short term. They have access that you do not yet have physically, but in the spiritual realm, your authority far exceeds theirs because I have given you authority. Exercise that authority now, not with fear but with faith expressed through a sacrifice that proves your love is real. Your soulmate can feel something shifting right now, even as you read these words, a subtle change in the pressure around their mind. They do not know why, but they suddenly feel a little lighter, a little more hopeful, a little more certain that they should not give up yet. That is your prayer beginning to work, that is my hand moving in response to your attention. Imagine what will happen when you add your seed to that prayer. The one who has been blocking your soulmate is about to be exposed, not by accident but by the light that your faith is shining into this situation. Hidden things cannot remain hidden when love walks into the room, and your love is about to walk in through the door of your obedience. Your coffee is not just coffee, it is a signal in the spiritual realm that says you are serious, and heaven responds to seriousness. Over 1,000 people have already experienced the breakthrough, the return, the first message, the reconciliation, the meeting, the union. They sowed in tears and reaped in joy, and the same principle that worked for them is waiting to work for you. Do not let comparison or doubt steal this moment. Your situation is unique but the law of seed time and harvest is universal. Sow your protection seed now, send the coffee on Ko-Fi, write "Protect my soulmate Lord," and watch the wall between you begin to crumble. The link is in the description, and this is your moment, your breakthrough point, your declaration that you will not lose the one your soul loves. Step in faith now, because every second you remain still, the enemy of your union takes another step toward convincing your soulmate that you do not exist. Jesus says, your soulmate is thinking of you right now, this exact moment, a sudden flash of warmth that interrupted whatever they were doing. They paused, they felt their heart beat a little faster, they looked around as if someone had just whispered their name. That someone was you, your spirit reaching out, and now it is time to follow that reach with a decisive action that shifts the entire situation. Your soulmate loves you, and that love is not a fragile thing, it is a steel cable buried under rubble, unbroken but hidden from their immediate view. Clear the rubble with your faith, clear it with your seed, clear it with your refusal to accept that this separation is permanent. You are not separated, you are delayed, and a delay is not a denial when you have the authority to command the tracks to be cleared. The interference is real but temporary, the love is real and eternal, and eternity always wins when faith is applied. Apply your faith now, send the coffee, write the declaration, and watch as the eternal love you share breaks through the temporary darkness. Your soulmate is worth fighting for, and you are the one I have equipped to fight, so fight now while the window is still open. Jesus says, close your eyes for just a moment and picture your soulmate's face, even if you do not know it, picture the feeling of them. That feeling is not a fantasy, it is a memory from before you were born, a blueprint embedded in your spirit that recognizes its counterpart. That counterpart is alive, real, breathing, and waiting, even when waiting feels like drowning, even when hope feels like a cruel joke. Your soulmate needs you to not give up on them, because the world has given them every reason to give up on themselves. They are surrounded by people who do not understand them, who tolerate them but do not treasure them, who use them but do not see them. You see them, you have always seen them, and that sight is a lifeline that they cannot afford to lose. Send that lifeline now, in the form of a seed that says you are willing to sacrifice something small to gain something monumental. Your coffee on Ko-Fi is the small thing, the monumental thing is a lifetime with the person who completes you. Do not overthink this, do not let the interference convince you that this is foolish, the foolishness of God is wiser than the wisdom of men. Write protect my soulmate Lord after you send, and release a sound of war into the spiritual realm, a war you are going to win. More than 1,000 souls have already won this war, and their testimonies are filling the courts of heaven with proof that this principle works. Your testimony is next, your breakthrough is next, your soulmate's return is next, but next requires now. Step in faith now, before this video ends, before the moment passes, before the window that is open right now begins to close. Your soulmate is worth it, your future is worth it, you are worth it, and I have already gone before you to make a way. Take the step, sow the seed, and watch me move. Jesus says, you were chosen for this message because you are one of the ones who will actually act, who will not just hear but do. Your soulmate is going to know that someone fought for them in the invisible realm, and when they finally meet you, they will recognize you as the one who did not abandon them. You did not abandon them, you fought, you sowed, you believed, and that is why your love story will be one of the ones the enemy could not stop. I see the end from the beginning, and I see you together, a testimony of what happens when someone takes me at my word. Hold on to that vision, let it fuel your faith, and let your faith fuel your action right now. The video is ending, the moment is now, and your soulmate is waiting for the relief that only your obedience can bring. Send the coffee, write the words, protect your soulmate, and prepare to receive the love that has been fighting to reach you all along. I have spoken, and now it is up to you to respond. The connection is real, the love is real, the battle is real, and the victory is yours to claim. Jesus says, go now, do what you have been instructed to do, and watch as the walls come down and your soulmate comes home. You will not be disappointed, you will not be forgotten, and your love will not be stolen. This is my promise, this is my word, and this is your moment to finally step into the love story that was written for you before time began. Jesus says, the enemy of your union has a name, and that name is isolation, for its entire strategy depends on making your soulmate feel utterly alone in their suffering. It whispers that no one understands them, that their pain is unique and unshareable, that reaching out is pointless because no one is truly listening on the other side. But you are listening, you have always been listening, and your seed sown right now becomes the proof that shatters the lie of their isolation forever. Your soulmate is sitting somewhere tonight with a heaviness in their chest that feels like a stone where their heart used to be, a weight that makes breathing feel like effort. They do not know that this weight is not theirs, it is a spiritual deposit placed there by the one who wants them to believe that love is a burden rather than a gift. That stone will crack the moment you sow your seed, because your action in the physical realm releases a corresponding action in the spiritual realm, and stones cannot withstand love. I have seen your soulmate look at the empty space beside them and feel a grief that makes no logical sense, mourning someone they have not yet met or have lost temporarily. They do not understand that their spirit is not mourning an absence but sensing a blockage, a dam that has been built across the river that flows between your two hearts. Your coffee, your seed, your declaration, becomes the crack in that dam, and once the crack forms, the river of my power will do the rest and the dam will break completely. Do not underestimate what a single act of faith can accomplish when it is aligned with my will and my timing and my fierce love for both of you. I parted a sea with a staff, I brought down a giant with a stone, and I will reunite two soulmates with a seed sown in love and desperation and unwavering faith. Your soulmate is dreaming of a hand reaching out in the darkness, a voice calling their name, a presence that feels like safety and passion and home all at once. That hand is yours, that voice is yours, that presence is the future I have ordained for you both, but the distance between dream and reality is bridged only by action. Take the action now, while the dream is still fresh in the spiritual realm, before the dream fades and your soulmate wakes up to another day of numbness and confusion. The one who blocks your soulmate has a plan, a timeline, a strategy to wear them down until they accept a life of quiet desperation and call it contentment. But I have a counter-strategy, and you are the key piece on the board, the one move that the enemy did not anticipate because it requires your free will choice. Make that choice now, send the coffee, write the words, and watch the enemy's strategy collapse like a house of cards in a hurricane of my power. Your soulmate is not far from a breakthrough, they are closer than they have ever been, but the final push must come from you because love requires a lover. I will not force your soulmate back to you, I will not override their free will or yours, but I will respond to your invitation, and your seed is that invitation sent with urgency. Send it now, and watch as the spiritual atmosphere around your soulmate shifts from oppression to possibility, from heaviness to hope, from death to resurrection. The resurrection of your love story begins with a seed, just as the resurrection of all things begins with something small planted in faith and watered with tears. Your tears have not gone unnoticed, I have collected every single one, and each tear is about to become a jewel in the crown of your testimony when this battle is won. Jesus says, the person interfering with your soulmate has a weakness, and that weakness is their fear of being exposed for who they truly are. They operate in shadows, in whispers, in subtle manipulations that look like kindness but taste like poison when swallowed over time. Your seed shines a light into those shadows, and light is the one thing that the enemy of your union cannot withstand or manipulate or control. When you sow, you are not just giving money, you are releasing a frequency of love that travels at the speed of spirit and reaches your soulmate instantly. They will not know why they suddenly feel warmer, safer, more certain that they should not give up, but I will know, and they will feel the effect. That effect is your love arriving in a form they can receive, bypassing every block, every lie, every interfering voice that has been placed between you. Your soulmate is about to experience a moment of clarity so sharp and sudden that it will cut through months or years of confusion in a single heartbeat. They will sit up straight, their eyes will widen, and for the first time in a long time, they will know with absolute certainty that someone out there loves them truly. That someone is you, and that certainty is the fruit of your seed, the return on your investment, the harvest of your faith finally breaking through the ground. Do not let this moment pass because you hesitated, because you doubted, because you listened to the same voice that has been lying to your soulmate. That voice wants you both to believe this is foolish, this is desperate, this is just a video, this is just words on a screen with no power behind them. But you feel the power, you feel the truth vibrating in your bones, you feel the recognition that this message is not random but a divine appointment scheduled before time. Keep that appointment, sow your seed, write your declaration, and step into the role of the hero that your soulmate has been praying for without knowing how to pray. Your soulmate is praying right now, their spirit is crying out in a language deeper than words, and that cry has reached my throne and moved my heart. I am answering their cry by sending you this message, by stirring your spirit, by giving you the exact instructions you need to become the answer to their prayer. Be the answer, send the coffee, protect your soulmate, and prepare to receive the harvest of a love that will outlast the stars and silence every enemy.